Hello, this is Socially Triggered, and this video is going to be on looking at the narrative of, is white supremacy the big thing that we should be worrying about? Like white supremacists, neo-Nazis, all that movement. Is it something that is a crisis in our society right now? Or are there other groups who are actually more of a concern, like Antifa, BLM, uh, Black nationalist groups? So, yeah, I'm going to look at the numbers and I'm going to try to show you what the real story is, what the real situation is. And I'm going to start by showing you this article from The Guardian. So, I mean, The Guardian, they're pretty left-leaning, so, you know, you got to take it with a grain of salt. But you can see that more than 175 killed worldwide in the last 8 years by white nationalists. Now, I'm just going to look at the headline. I'm not going to get into the story because, there's like a whole bunch of iffy stuff in the story, but let's just take this for face value. Let's say that there was 175 people killed worldwide in the last 8 years. Well, that works out to being about 20 per year. It's a number. It's a significant number. Like, I don't want to see people get killed. And that's by white nationalists. So that's a number that we have to be aware of. Now, let's look at other groups and see what they're doing. And the one I can think of is Islamic terrorism. So we look at Islamic terrorists and we see, like, during the 70s, during the 80s, and during the 90s. And, in the 90s, you'd get maybe like a few deaths per year. And then it kind of went up to, in 1998, there was 224 deaths. There was September 11th, which was 3,000 deaths. But let's look at the last 8 years. Let's be comparable, right? Because they took 8 years. Let's look at the last 8 years. So 2012, it looks like about 7 deaths, and then another 14 deaths, and another 11 deaths. Okay, so about 30 deaths, 31 deaths, 32. Math. So yeah, 32 deaths in 2012. And then 2013, there was another 67 deaths here. Well, so roughly 71 deaths there. So 2014, we got Nigeria, 200 plus deaths. We got another 700 deaths. We got another 120 deaths. It kind of totals up pretty high there. And I'm just sort of losing track of the math here. It's over 1,000 at least. Then we get 2015. Oh, whoa, look at all the numbers here. Yeah, maybe another over 1,000. Wow, it just keeps on going, this list. This is just from that 1 year. Okay. So we keep on going. We still haven't even gotten through all 8 years. 2016, well, look at, 50 deaths, 63 plus deaths, 20 deaths, 65 deaths. And this is just in 1 year. 64, 40, 49 deaths, 300 deaths. Okay, this is only a halfway point. This is just 1 year, and it's probably over 1,000 again. Oh, gee. Next one is 2017. Well, 39 deaths, 36 deaths, 88 deaths, 40 plus deaths. Wow. It seems like a pretty high number. Oh, another 300 deaths in Egypt. Okay, wow. Then 2018. Another 103 deaths, 154 deaths, 86 deaths. It's just, that year was a pretty slow year, I guess. And then 2019, 259 deaths. Okay. Now we remember that the white supremacists over 8 years killed 175 people. We're looking at several thousand people, probably about 5,000 to 6,000 people that were killed by Islamic terrorists in the same time period. So which is the bigger issue? Okay, but let's look at other groups. And one of the groups that I was thinking about is Antifa. Now, this is by Andy No. And he was just sort of talking about how the different, Antifa kind of went in and smashed and burned and destroyed things. And you get like people, I always kind of conflate BLM and Antifa together because they kind of seem to work together. Whether that's fair, I'm not sure, but I always find that they always seem to work together. Um, and you get like during the 2 weeks after George Floyd died, there was 20 people within that 2 week span that died from the riots that happened after George Floyd. And so you compare that to, as I said, the white supremacists. And while the white supremacists, as we said, worldwide killed maybe 20, right? Well, that number is dwarfed when you look at it compared to 2 weeks of activity of BLM and Antifa. It's just not even comparable. And that doesn't include the amount of damage they did. They burned down whole parts of towns. I think every state had riots, and there was riots in many cities within the U.S. So billions of dollars worth of damage. So not only were people killed, but billions of dollars worth of damage, and a lot of Black-owned businesses were destroyed. So I don't. I'm not. I always wonder when people say, who are the real terrorists? Who are the ones that we should really watch out for? Is it fascism? Is it something else that we should be watching out for? And I would say, based on the numbers, that you have to say, well, we got groups like Islamic terrorists and BLM and Antifa, that those groups are probably the real problem in our society. And I'm just looking at the numbers. And if you have any comments about this video, please make them below and give me your opinions. What do you think? Who are the real terrorists? And I'd love to hear your opinion. Thanks for watching.